They're looking at Black people as we're savages and criminals, and we aren't even the ones that do commit the most crimes, or historically the treacherous things that white people have done to Black people. And you're talking about y'all are I don't even want to get started there. And then when he talked about the farms, I don't know if y'all seen the video where he talked about the farms, where he said, we're going to send the farmers back, and then we're going to bring them back because, we try to get the people in the inner city, the Blacks, because they thought those were the Black jobs. Y'all know they thought these were the Black jobs. We try to get the people in the inner city to do it, but they didn't want to do it. They don't want to do it. And these people, they were born to do this kind of work. And they said, if they don't do it, they die. So we're going to bring them, they're going to send them over there, and then we're going to bring them back so they could do our farm. So they basically thought that they was going to have Black slaves, but they were like, oh, shoot, my bad. We're going to spend all these millions of dollars to send them away. And then what happened to sending the criminals away? Why are you sending these people who have been here 20 years, who are paying taxes, who are contributing to society, like breaking up families? This is America. This is what we are dealing with. And this is the turmoil that this presidency has brought in. And we only, 8 months in? 9 months?
It doesn't work. America incarcerates more people than any country in the world. And this DeCarlos Brown, the one that killed the Ukrainian immigrant, he had a documented history of schizophrenia and 14 prior arrests. Guess where most of the mentally ill people are in this country? They're in jail. I worked for a mental hospital in Chicago for 5 years, and we were forced to close down. And all those people in the community we had chronically homeless people that lived under the bridge near the hospital, walking distance from the hospital. But guess what? They had Obamacare. So when it would get really cold, they show up at the hospital, or if they had a mental health crisis, they show up at the hospital, and they had a safe space to be able to get medicated and get right. But then our hospital closed down. So then what do you got? All those people, where they're going to go for when they want a hot meal, they're going to try to get put in jail. Or if they have a mental health crisis. And Chicago happened to have a lot of officers who were trained for crisis intervention, which is like when you intervene and you don't just arrest them and throw them in jail, you actually call the psychotherapists and the behavioral health folks to try to get them into the hospital as a diversion to going to jail. So they happen to advocate that in Chicago. But you still have the problem of all these people that have criminal history, mental health histories. And then his own brother, I think he'd only met him twice. He said, oh, he's on my daddy's side of the family, and they all go to jail on that side of the family. I'm like, you got generations of curses. That's what you got.
That's crazy. I mean, and the resources, again, they're putting the money into the wrong resources. And that's what the bottom line is. Let's take a look at some stats on... According to a 2022 study, cities that deploy SWAT-style operations see mixed results. Some crime drops slightly, but community trust often declines significantly. Urban areas with high poverty and unemployment are more likely to see militarized policing, even when violent crime is stable. Survey shows 60% of residents in heavily militarized neighborhoods report feeling unsafe around police. Go to that first one again. According to 2022 cities that deploy SWAT-style operations see mixed results. Some crime drops slightly, but community trust often declines significantly. So my question to you for your final thought, ladies, let's talk about, some solutions and community trust.